Today we're going to look at how to use shapes with an Adobe Illustrator. To do this, let's select the Create New button, and then we're just going to leave it as the common size, and then press Create. In past tutorials, we looked at the pen and the pen curvature tool. They're really good tools for freehand drawing or tracing. We're going to look at probably what I would think is the second most important tool in the Illustrator, which is shapes. So shapes are just below the curvature tool. If you left click and hold over it, we've got the rectangle, the ellipse, the polygon, the star, and the line tool. So we're going to try and look at some of these examples here. Obviously, the rectangle is pretty obvious. The ellipse, if you select it and draw it out, you can then, if we just change the fill options here so you can see. So let's make that red, and let's make the stroke blue. Change the points. So yeah, if I draw it, I can make an ellipse. I can make it more of a circle. If I want to make a perfect circle, I just hold the shift button down, and the shift button will keep a perfect ratio, and then I'll let go. It looks pretty good there. Another tool that you can use here is the polygon tool. So if you select this one here, and then you basically left click on it. If you want to change the points, there's two ways of doing it. One is you can use the arrow keys up and down, okay, as you're doing it. The second option, you can then draw the tool, and then you left click somewhere on the screen, and then you can give it some points there. So let's change that to a triangle, and you can see that's how you do it there. And then you've also got, if you left click and hold, the star tool. So the star tool basically is the same as the polygon tool, except it lets you draw stars. You can rotate it by going left and right like any objects, and you can use arrows to increase or decrease it. Really good if you're doing like call outs or explosions or anything like that. And then you've also got the line tool. So what we're going to do today, just to show you how this works, is we're going to try to draw a simple koala image. So first thing we want to do is we're going to change our fill to white, and I want to change my stroke to black, and then leave it at 2 points. So we're going to first start off by selecting the shape tool, selecting the ellipse, and we're going to start by drawing the head. So to draw the head, we're just going to hold the shift key down so you can see it's a sort of consistent circle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to then select to draw the ears. So let's draw them up here like so. And one of the good things inside Illustrator is you can duplicate or clone. So basically you just hold Alt, you drag it across, let go, and then what you can do there is you can see is I've cloned or duplicated my ears on my koala. Okay, I might just change the zoom a bit on my koala. Yep, it's better. So then what we're going to do is we're going to draw inside the ears. So select the ellipse tool. Then what we're going to do is we're going to draw inside the ears. We'll do this freehand, the second one too. Okay, you see those pink lines come up. That's just the smart guide trying to line up with each other. One of the best tools to use in here, which is quite new, is called the Shape Builder tool. What it lets you do is actually create different shapes and then merge them into one image. So I want to merge these ears into the face. So the way you do that is you just select the selection tool, highlight all around the objects you want to merge. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over the icon for Shape Builder tool, left click on it. Then I'm just going to draw the ears, the face, and then the ears again, and then let go. And then what will happen is it automatically will merge and create that shape, which is the koala's face. Okay, so we've got the koala's face there. What we might do is we might just put some more details on the face. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the ellipse tool, and then we're going to draw the koala's nose. So we're going to make this more of a sideways ellipse. And then we're going to also draw some little eyes on there, like so. And then if you want to fill those sections in, you can just select the individual one and then just select the color. If you want to group it, all you do is you left click and hold shift and then click the individual items you want to have the same color. So we're going to select the fill to be black. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So now what we want to do is we want to fill in the koala's face. So we left click on that smart object we just created, and then we're going to change the fill area to being this grey here. You can pick any grey you want. As you can see there, we actually might make his ears a bit lighter. So what we can do is we can go left click on there, then we'll select the fill, and I'll select a really light grey. Select his other inside for his ear. Select the fill again, and then pick the light grey again. Okay, and you can see there we've got our face. Now what we're going to do is draw the body. So we draw our ellipse tool. Okay, this time we can just draw a circle in here, like so. Don't worry about the shape at the moment, whether it's over the face or not. We can fix that in a minute. We might just change the fill to be that darker grey that we have for the koala. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw inside the belly, which will make that white. So we're going to select the oval tool, change the fill this time to white. Oops. Make sure you select somewhere off the screen, as you saw the mistake I made there. Then you can select your oval tool and then select the fill to white. And then what we can do is we can draw our belly over the koala, like so. And then what we're going to do now is we want this face to be over top of the body. So my advice to you is we want to group all the objects within inside the body. So what we can do is we hold the shift button down, and then we also select the belly objects. So you're selecting the two circles. Right click, and then we select the option of group. And then what we can do is we can drag that away. And then what we're going to do is we want to group all the items within inside the head. So to do so is we're going to select the selection tool and then just lasso around the head. You can see all the objects inside there have been selected. We right click and then we select group. And now we have two grouped objects, the head and the body. And then finally, what we're going to do is we're going to draw four paws. Okay, so let's go and draw those paws in. So we'll select the ellipse tool. So we select the ellipse tool, the fill can be grey, stroke is black. So then what we're going to do is we can draw our little arms in, like so. Okay, so we might draw them so they're on the body, so we get an idea of how big they are. We can copy those also too by going edit, copy, and then edit, paste. And then same thing again, edit, paste. And as you can see, we might want to change the angle of them to match the body. So you can actually, if you go around the corners here, select it, and then you can just select this sort of curved arrow to then change the angle of your the aspect of your object. So then we go under here. Okay, you can see we're almost there. The way it works in Adobe Illustrator is that we have layers, and at the moment you can clearly see that the paws are the front layer. So what we can do is we can left click on that body, then cut it. And as a result now, this becomes one of the background layers. So if I paste now my body over the top, you can see now that is now on the front of those paws. So what we can do then is we can then select all of the individual objects. Then we can right click, group, and now we have a body that we can drag around. But as you can see here, we have a problem of the body being on the front layer. So as we did before, we can then select the head and then edit, cut, and as I said before, our body's now on this background layer. We can now paste our head to be on the front layer. Okay, so almost there. So one last thing that we want to do is just draw a mouth. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to left click on the shape, and I'll show you how to use the line tool. And then we're going to have the fill as no fill. And then we're going to change the stroke. We'll leave the stroke as black. And then all you can do is you can then left click. Okay. Left click. And I'm just going to draw a mouth on here like so. Okay. So that's how you use shapes inside Adobe Illustrator. Now, that tutorial might have been a bit fast or hard for you if you're new to Illustrator. My advice to you is to start easy. So maybe try drawing a cloud and then work your way up to this tutorial. Otherwise, you can pause this and go back as many times as you want. But as soon as you master how to use shapes and the pen tool, pretty much everything else in Adobe Illustrator supports the functions of drawing. And then basically imagination is your limits. Thank you for watching this tutorial.